So let's consider the various possible modes in transverse magnetic field, TM modes. We know that the different modes are given by, say, Mn. Okay. So Mn can have different values. See, if M is equal to 1 and N is equal to 2, we write this mode as TM12 mode. Okay. So the possible modes means the possible mode can start from, say, 0, 0, which means M0, N0, or 0, 1, or 1, 0. Okay, and then 1, 1. Okay, we are trying to find out the lowest possible mode. And if you substitute the different values, we can find that, let's say, let's consider 0, 0. This means that M is equal to 0 and N is equal to 0. Then what happens? Here M is there, here N is there, M, N, M. Okay, so all these fields will be reduced to 0. All fields will vanish. Okay, when M is equal to 0 and N is equal to 0, all fields will vanish. Okay, because of that, this mode is not possible. Okay, let's take the second case, 0, 1. In that case also, here what is the which value is 0? M is equal to 0. So let's consider M. Here M is there, so this will be 0. Here sin M, so sin 0 is 0. This is reduced to 0. Again this is sin 0, again reduced to 0. When you take this, here N, it's fine, but here sin M, so again this is 0. When you take this, here M is there, so again 0. So all these fields will vanish in case of M is equal to 0. So this is also not possible. All fields will vanish. Again taking this case 1, 0, here N is equal to 0. Consider this. Here sin N, so sin 0, this will be 0. Second case, here N is there, so this will be 0. Here N, again sin N, 0, so Ez is 0. Considering HX cos N, that is fine, but here there is an N pi. So again this is reduced to 0. Here sin N, again it is reduced to 0. So in this case also all fields will vanish. Because of this reason, we can say that TM00, TM10, and TM01, these modes do not exist. Okay, why these modes do not exist? Because all the fields will vanish corresponding to 00, 10, or 01. Because of that, the lowest possible mode will be TM11. This is possible because both M and N are 1. So the lowest possible mode is TM11. And how can you find the corresponding cutoff frequency? You know that Fc is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of mu epsilon into square root of m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. Okay, so this is also written as u velocity. If in terms of velocity, it is u dash by 2 square root of m by a the whole square plus n by b the whole square. Here you substitute for 1 and 1. How can you write this cutoff frequency? You can write as FCTM11. This shows that cutoff frequency corresponding to TM11 mode. How you can write it? You can write like this: u dash by 2 into square root of 1 by a the whole square plus 1 by b the whole square. Okay, so the lowest possible mode in TM is TM11 mode. That is one thing you should remember. And the another thing is that TM00, 01, and 10 do not exist. Okay, why these modes do not exist? Because all these fields will vanish to 0 for these three values. So the lowest possible mode in case of TM is TM11. That is the lowest possible mode. This is not same in case of TE. This is the lowest possible mode in TM. Okay. And so this is the lowest. So this has the lowest cutoff frequency and longest cutoff wavelength. This one FC we already obtained. FC corresponding to TM11 was u dash by 2 into square root of 1 by a the whole square plus 1 by b the whole square. And corresponding to wavelength lambda c TM11 is equal to u dash by Fc. That will be equal to 2 divided by square root of 1 by a the whole square plus 1 by b the whole square. So the lowest TM11 has got lowest cutoff frequency and the longest cutoff wavelength, and these are the values. Okay. Okay. Now equation for beta. Okay. For considering equation for beta, it's not like in case of transmission line. In transmission line, it's not frequency selective. Throughout, you know the value as beta is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon. You know this. Okay. So let's take it as beta dash in case of waveguide, because here it is dependent on frequency. So what is the equation that you know? This is corresponding to the propagation mode, because in propagation mode what happens? Alpha is 0. The complete gamma is equal to j beta. This is the situation in case of propagation mode. So complete gamma will be equal to beta. Okay, and the value is given by beta is equal to square root of k square minus h square. This is the equation. You know that in case of propagation, k square is greater than h square. So because of that, beta is k square minus h, square root of k square minus h square, and you are substituting. Okay, k, the value I told you earlier itself, k is something equivalent to beta dash. So it can be written as omega square mu epsilon, because k will be equal to omega square root of mu epsilon. Just like beta in case of transmission lines or the general case beta, on TEM mode we take beta as omega square root of mu epsilon. Here in waveguides in TE and TM mode, we take k something similar to the phase constant. So k is omega square root of mu epsilon. You have to substitute it here. Okay. Minus h square, you know that h square is equal to m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. So this is the equation. So here you write minus m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. You put a bracket here. And you know the equation for cutoff frequency. Okay, equation for cutoff frequency is equal to omega c is equal to 1 by square root of mu epsilon into square root of m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. This is the equation for cutoff frequency. So this part can be written as omega c square or mu epsilon. This is equal to m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. So you can equate this. Okay, so substituting it here, you get beta is equal to square root of omega square mu epsilon minus omega c square mu epsilon. Okay, and you take here omega square mu epsilon, you can take outside. Okay, into 1 minus omega c by omega. Hope you got it. So taking this outside, you get beta is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon into square root of 1 minus, this is 2 pi fc, this is 2 pi f. So 1 minus fc by f the whole square. And this omega square root of mu epsilon is, you can take it as beta dash. So beta is equal to beta dash into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square. So this is the equation. This is written here. So this derivation is important. It's very small derivation. How to derive for beta in the propagation mode, and you have to learn the equation also. Beta is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon into 1 minus fc by f the whole square. This is got a mistake. This can be written as beta dash. Beta is equal to beta dash into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square, where beta dash is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon. So this is valid in case of propagation mode, and in case of evanescent mode, what happens? Something very similar to this. Only thing is evanescent mode gamma is alpha and beta will be 0. In that case, you can derive in similar way. No need to go for derivation. You can learn this equation. Here gamma is equal to j beta. Okay. Here gamma is j beta. Here gamma is alpha. And the value is beta dash into square root of fc by f the whole square minus 1. Okay, here it is fc by f the whole square minus 1. Here it is 1 minus square root of fc by f the whole square. So you have to learn both these equations and this derivation also. Now coming to intrinsic impedance for the TM mode, and this equations for beta, this is valid for both TE and TM modes. This is common for both. Okay. It's same in case of both TE and TM. But in case of intrinsic impedance, this is specific. You have one equation for TM and you have one equation for TE. So now we are discussing TM mode. So intrinsic impedance for TM mode. Okay. And what is the general equation for intrinsic impedance? You know that it is eta TM is equal to, it is Ex divided by Hy. Ex by Hy, and you can check the equations here, Ex and here it is Hy. You compare these two, you get E naught cos this term and this term. Both these are same. Okay. So it get cancelled and the rest of it again m pi by a. This is also same. So how you can divide it, Ex by Hy, my negative is there, j is there. So you can write it as beta by h square and omega epsilon by h square. So you get this as beta by omega epsilon. You got the equation like this, and you just now you learned the equation for beta. Beta is, this is the equation, beta dash into beta Tm is equal to beta dash into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square. Okay, divided by omega epsilon. Again, beta dash is omega square root of mu epsilon divided by omega epsilon into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square. Okay, here you can cut this and this can be written as eta, sorry, it is theta Tm. Okay, theta Tm. Eta Tm is given by square root of mu by epsilon into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square. And this mu by epsilon is common. This is the intrinsic impedance of uniform plane wave in the medium. So you can write it as eta dash into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square, where eta dash is equal to square root of mu by epsilon. Hope it is clear. So eta is specific to TE and TM. This is not same for both modes. So intrinsic impedance corresponding to TM mode is given by eta dash into square root of 1 minus fc by f the whole square. So you should learn this derivation also. Next, moving on to transverse electric field or TE mode. TE mode means Ez is equal to 0, and you have a very small derivation to learn in TE mode also. This shows M. M is 1. That means number of half cycle variation in the x direction. Here TE20 mode, number of half cycle variations in x direction. It is 2 half cycle variations. So here it is M equals 2. Here and n equals 0, and here it is m equals 1 and n equals 0. Okay, and this is another example, T32 mode. This means that m is equal to 3 and n is equal to 2. This corresponds to x direction, this corresponds to y direction. And you can check this one, n view is, you can check the n view. This is along x direction, m equals 3, 1, 2, and this sum of these two is equivalent to 3. Similarly, here this is 1, these two combines to 1. So 2 half cycle, this means 3 half cycle variations in x direction, and 2 half cycle variations in y direction. That is m equals 3 and n is equal to 2. This you can write as TE32 mode. Okay. So we write, even if it is TE or TM, you write it as TEMN mode. Okay, this is how you write the mode. Corresponding to each pair of M and N, You have a particular field pattern or mode. And with this, by applying boundary conditions, the derivation I have already shared the PDF. You can just learn it, learn the derivation. And these are the final field equations you are getting corresponding to TE mode. And the equations, field equations for TE and TM will vary. You have to compare and learn. These are the equations corresponding to TE mode. Okay. And you can compare just to understand it easily. I have just given this is taken from our text. You can compare the field equations will all vary. The only thing we already know is in TM mode HZ will be 0 and in TE mode EZ will be 0. All other fields will be present. Okay, and here you can see that intrinsic impedance is varying. In TM mode, it is eta dash into square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. Whereas in TE mode, it is eta dash divided by 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. In both cases, you know that eta, the value is Ex divided by Hy. But fields are different. So when you derive it, you will get it in the different way. We already discussed the derivation of TM. Similarly, you can get this equation also in case of TE mode. Just have to properly substitute the values here. Here from the equation itself, it's very clear. This EXHY, these two terms are similar. So you just have to divide this part. Okay, this will be omega mu divided by beta. In this case, you got beta by omega mu. So based on that, there will be this difference. Okay, you have to learn both equations. And these equations, they are common for both TE and TM modes. So they are not TE or TM specific. It is common for both TE and TM. Cutoff frequency equation we already learned. Cutoff wavelength. Phase constant. This we derived. The derivation is important. This is also common for both TE and TM mode. Then phase velocity is omega by beta or F lambda. Okay. This is also equivalent to 1 divided by square root of mu epsilon. Okay. And this thing, what is h square? H square is equal to m pi by a the whole square plus n pi by b the whole square. And eta dash value, that is equal to square root of mu by epsilon. This eta dash. In both cases, eta dash, that is equal to eta dash is square root of mu by epsilon. So these are the equations which you should learn. In case of TE and TM mode, this table will be useful because you can compare and learn all the equations. Now let's discuss the possible modes in TE. Earlier we discussed TM mode, and in TM mode what we found out? We found out that TM11 is the lowest possible mode and 00, 01 and 10 is not possible in case of TM because all the fields will vanish. So TM11 was considered to be the lowest mode. Now we are going to discuss TE. Okay, TE, the lowest possible can be 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 0. Let's take each case. In case of 0, 0, that means m equals 0 and n is equal to 0. In that case, you can check this here n, here m, n. So all these will be 0, right? So all these will be reduced to 0. Because of that, what we say, we can say that this is not possible. But when we take this case 0, 1, that is m is equal to 0. In that case, when m is equal to 0, this will be 0, then this will be 0. But still you will be having Ex and Hy. Both these values will exist. Okay, so because of that 0, 1 is possible. Similarly, when we take m equals 1 and n equals 0, same thing will again happen. Here it does not exist, but here it will exist. Okay, again this will exist. N is equal to 0, m is there. So this will exist, this will not exist. So in both cases, one of the two fields is there. That is, both electric and magnetic field is present. So because of that, in case of TE, only mode that is not possible is 0, 0. 0, 0 is not possible because all the fields will vanish. But TE10 and TE01 exists. Okay, so the mode with the lowest cutoff frequency or longest cutoff wavelength has to be identified from these two. As we all know, Fc is equal to U by 2 into square root of m by a the whole square plus n by b the whole square. Okay, this is the equation. So corresponding to Fc TE10 M is 1, so you can write it as U by 2 A. Why? Because N is 0, this is cancelled. 1 by A the whole square root is 1 by A, so U by 2A. And FCTE01, what about this? N is 1, so it will be 1 by B, so this will be U by 2B. Okay, so these are the two equations corresponding to T10 and T01, and you are comparing these two. You know that rectangular waveguide, this is X, this is Y, this is how we have take it, and this is A and this is B. Okay, so we take A greater than B. So what happens? U by 2A will be less than U by 2B because denominator has a greater value. So this value is smaller. So we can find that FCTE10 is less than FCTE01. So because of that, in case of TM11, there was no comparison. This has the lowest cutoff frequency and the longest wavelength. Here, these two are comparable and we calculated the values and found that TE10 is the mode with the lowest cutoff frequency or the mode with the largest cutoff wavelength. Now let's see the dominant mode. Mode with the lowest cutoff frequency or longest cutoff wavelength is called dominant mode, and we compared in the last slide we compared TE10 and TE01. Okay, TE10 it was U by 2A. Okay, FC of TE10, what's U by 2A? This was found to be the smallest cutoff or lowest cutoff frequency. So TE10 is taken as the dominant mode. Okay, this is not comparable with the TM11 because so on comparing all the possible low modes, we can take dominant mode as TE10. And what is the lambda C corresponding to TE10? It will be U by FC. So it will be U by 2A. So we can see that it is 2A. Lambda C corresponding to TE10 will be 2A. Okay, similarly, if you are asked to calculate the cutoff wavelength for TE01, it will be U by FC TE01. You got it in last slide as U by 2B. So this can be taken as 2B. So again, you know that A is greater than B. So lambda C TE10 is greater than lambda C TE01. So we can compare both cutoff wavelength and cutoff frequency and you get TE10 mode as the dominant mode. And what is dominant mode? It is the mode with the lowest cutoff frequency or longest cutoff wavelength. Next, wave impedance, this we have already discussed. In eta TE, it is eta dash divided by square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. In case of eta TM, it is eta dash into square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. So we can see that corresponding to Fc, when F less than Fc, what will happen? When F less than Fc, what will happen? There is no propagation. Okay, so this is not defined for frequencies less than Fc. But when F is greater than Fc, what will happen? This F is greater than Fc, then Fc by F, this value will be less than 1. Then only this value will exist. Okay, otherwise it will be imaginary. So the real value exists and this is some value and we know that it is 1 minus this value. Okay, so Fc by F means it's a value less than 1. So it will be a fraction, right? When this is a fraction, what will happen? Eta dash, this eta Tm will be a lesser value and it will go on increasing as F increases. Okay, when this denominator part increases, what will happen? this value will go on decreasing. When this part decreases, eta Tm will go on increasing. The opposite thing happens in this case. So you can see the two graphs. In eta 2m it goes on increasing, and in case of eta T it goes on decreasing. So this graph is somewhat important. This graph shows the how the wave impedance varies with the frequency in case of TE and TM mode. Thank you.